Is it true that the body disappeared?
Has anyone found the body?
Is it true that the body was stolen?
Can you confirm that there was a resurrection?
How many witnesses were there?
Is it true that the governor's wife is involved?
Is it true that the governor's wife predicted a disaster?
Why isn't the governor here to explain things?
Can you tell us where the body was buried?
Is it true that the rabbi predicted his own resurrection?
Quiet. My name is Malthus. I am a sentry in the palace guard of His Honor the Governor of the province of Palestine. Governor Pilate has asked me to make a brief statement to the press, so here it goes. A Jewish rabbi named Jesus of Nazareth was executed by crucifixion 3 days ago. His body was buried in a tomb of an official of the Jewish temple immediately after his death. This morning, just before sunrise, the body was apparently stolen by the overzealous disciples of the rabbi in an effort to make it look like the resurrection which had been prophesied by the rabbi himself. At this time, we have still not located the body, but when we do, we will make it available to the press so that this hoax may be put to rest. Well, that's all I have for now. Thank you.
Mr. Malthus, is it true that Jesus was not really dead when he was laid to rest in the tomb?
I'm sorry. I'm not prepared to answer any questions.
It's a simple question, Mr. Malthus. Was Jesus dead when he was taken down from the cross or not?
He was dead. Now, if you'll excuse me.
How do you know he was dead?
Because I, the presiding officer at his execution.
You still haven't answered the question.
When a Roman officer presides at an execution, he has one main duty: to make sure the prisoner is dead before he is removed from the cross. To make sure a prisoner is dead, he slides a very sharp spear under the prisoner's ribs and up into his heart and lungs. So even if he hasn't died from suffocation from the crucifixion, the prisoner won't survive a 3-inch gash in his heart and lungs. In the case of Jesus, blood and water poured out of the spear's wound, indicating that he had been dead for several minutes or even hours.
Is it true that the tomb was heavily secured and guarded in anticipation of this body snatching?
I told you I'm not prepared to answer questions.
You are in charge of security for Governor Pilate, are you not, Mr. Malthus?
Well, yes, I am, but...
So, if security was beefed up around the tomb where the rabbi was buried, you would have been the one in charge of it, would you not?
Yes, I was.
So, was security beefed up around the tomb or not?
Yes, it was. We sealed the tomb. That's all I can say for now. I'll keep you posted.
Can you tell us how the tomb was sealed, Mr. Malthus?
The tomb itself is a small cave carved into the side of a limestone cliff. We covered the mouth of the cave with a large rock, and after the rock was in place, we sealed it with hot wax around the edges, so that if anyone moved the rock, the wax seal would have been broken. Thank you for your attention. Now
Mr. Malthus, how much did the rock weigh?
It weighed about 1 ton.
1 ton? 2,000 pounds?
Yes. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Mr. Malthus, did you place any guards in front of the tomb?
Yes, the temple leaders were worried that the disciples of Jesus would try to steal the body and make it look like the resurrection. So, at the request of the temple leaders, we posted guards in front of the tomb around the clock for the last 3 days.
So, in order for the disciples of Jesus to steal the body, they would not only have to move a 1-ton rock they would also have to overpower the guards. Is that right?
We're not quite sure how the disciples stole the body. We were just told that they did.
Were any of the guards injured?
No, they weren't.
These well-armed soldiers let the body be stolen without a fight?
I'm told the guards fell asleep.
Mr. Malthus, what's the punishment for a guard who falls asleep on guard duty?
Well, under Roman law, that infraction is punishable by death.
May we speak to the guards before they are executed?
The guards are not available for questioning. They have been transferred to the garrison at Caesarea.
Are you saying that the guards have been transferred instead of being executed?
That was not my decision. His Honor, the governor, made that decision.
How convenient.
Excuse me?
Is that why Governor Pilate didn't appear at this press conference?
The governor is not feeling well?
Is it true there was an earthquake around the time the body disappeared?
Yes, I believe there was.
So, what you're telling us is that the guards slept while a 2,000-pound rock was rolled away from the mouth of the tomb and during an earthquake.
That's their story, yes.
Do you really believe that grave robbers would take the time to unwrap the body before they stole it?
I can only report to you what was reported to me.
You don't believe this story any more than we do you, Mr. Malthus?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just a soldier. I'm not allowed to interject my personal opinions into matters of the state.
Is it true that while Jesus was alive, he healed one of your own servants who had been paralyzed?
Yes, that's true. But I don't see what that has to do with it.
You tell us what medicines Jesus gave your servant to heal him.
He didn't give him any medicine. None at all.
Well, how did he heal him?
He just gave the word and he was healed.
You mean Jesus didn't even touch your servant?
Jesus didn't go to my house. He was across town.
You mean Jesus healed your servant sight unseen?
He said, heal? And he was healed?
Across town?
Do you believe that Jesus is the Son of God?
Do you believe that Jesus rose from the dead just as he predicted?
I'm sorry, I'm just a soldier. I'm not allowed to speak about matters of religion.
Mr. Malthus, this is not a matter of religion. Under these circumstances, it would take more faith to believe that the body was stolen than to believe that a man who performed miracles could rise from the dead. Isn't that right?
I'm sorry, I really must go.
Mr. Malthus, are you a Christian?
When did you first meet Jesus?
When did you become a Christian?
How did you become a Christian?
Can we speak to your servant who was healed?
Based on a play by Bob Snook, Conditions for Use. Do not sell any part of this script, even if you rewrite it. Pay no royalties, even if you make money from the performance. You may reproduce and distribute this freely, but all copies must contain this statement.